Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dish on Aging. This is episode 2. In today's presentation, I will be answering the question, how can seniors best cope during the pandemic? Please note, you'll be seeing the video of me talking to you. I'm in the lower right-hand corner of your slide. Also note that I have added to my information my email address in a very clear location. I want everyone to feel free to email me if you have a question you would like me to answer on one of the future presentations. So here's what I'm recommending that everyone do now that we are in January 2021. We have been dealing with this pandemic longer than we ever thought we would. And the coping that we came up with initially probably is not working anymore. This has just been dragging on too long. And so it's challenging us all to come up with new coping to get us through this next section of the pandemic. Keep in mind, we will get to the end of this. We will be able to get back to our regular activities of going out, socially interacting with our friends and family, and engaging in community events. We will get back to that. In the meantime, here's what I recommend everybody do. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it free. I don't want anybody to spend any money on doing this. I want each person to find 2 new activities to do each day. I want you to keep it simple. And it also must be something enjoyable to you. Many of you may find that you're just feeling so drained and run down from the monotony of boredom every day that you may not find anything enjoyable. So in those situations, I recommend you focus on things that maybe were once enjoyable. For example, maybe you enjoyed listening to punk rock music. But you don't think that you'd be really into it now. I want you to consider that as an activity. You cannot include chores. A lot of you may be looking around your living rooms or your offices and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to wash that floor. I need to replace those curtains. I need to do this, that, and the other. That defeats the purpose of today's coping challenge, which is finding 2 enjoyable things for you to do each day. I want them to be new to you in 2021. So they could be something that maybe you were doing back in 2019 that you stopped doing. You can pick that up again. I want you to plan for 1 simple activity in the morning and 1 simple activity in the afternoon. They can be social interaction activities, exercising, calling a friend, activity, watching a new TV show, eating a healthy meal, even eating a healthy snack. Some may find that you've fallen off of your regular routine. And for some of you, maybe surfing the net for live stream events to participate in. Okay, that is the end of my 2-minute presentation. So those of you who wanted to know all you needed to know about how seniors can cope, you can fall off of the presentation now. If you're interested in more specific guidance on this, including resources that are available to help you figure out how to do this, then you can feel free to stay on the presentation. Okay, so 2 simple and free activities a day and activities that are new to you. So how do you figure that out? And the first thing that I offer for guidance on this is kind of look to yourself in your own mind. What area of your life right now do you think needs the most improvement? Do you feel socially isolated? Do you feel that there's not enough, you're not having enough family face-to-face time? Does it make sense? Should you be considering expanding your social distancing pod? You've probably heard that before. A pod is, you may have family members who live on the other side of town. There are 3 family members there. There is just you living by yourself in your own apartment. and so that you can have some interaction with other people. You have decided either at the beginning of the pandemic, or you might want to consider it now, the idea of saying to some family, some friends, does it make sense for us now to think of ourselves as living under the same roof, even though we're in two separate locations? And then that way, at least I can have you over to watch a football game once a week. And of course, we'll all be wearing masks when we're inside. Something to think about. It's not going to be an option for everyone. Are you thinking that you've gotten a little bit or a lot out of shape? Some seniors are telling me they're losing their conditioning due to inactivity. Their doctors have asked them not to go out of the house because they are at too high of a risk should they contract COVID. So think about, is that an area you want to work on? Some people tell me they are not eating healthy. They are all of a sudden eating all kinds of bagged chips in front of the television. Not usually them. Perhaps they've gained a few pounds since the pandemic started. Some people have gotten out of their daily routine. They're staying up until 1, 2, 3 in the morning watching television and then getting jet lagged, not sure what time they're going to get up in the morning. Some people identify absolute boredom as the biggest challenge they're facing. Others of you may say, oh my gosh, where on earth am I going to start in identifying 2 new activities to do? Okay, so now you've identified the problem area that you want to fix, and you can do several of them as well. Now your challenge is to start to problem solve on how to develop ideas for a fun, small activity that will help correct this problem. Let me go with social isolation and loneliness, because that is probably one of the biggest concerns right now for seniors during this pandemic. The first, and you're like sitting at home and you can't go out, and you're probably saying, how am I going to get 2 new activities? Make it fun. Reach out to others for ideas. Call up some friends and say, what if I were to do something fun, 1 activity in the morning, 1 in the afternoon? What do you have any ideas? What's something I haven't done in a while? I don't want anybody to spend any extra money to do the activity. You really don't have to. Problem solve within your own constraints. Some of you maybe can't go out of the house. Maybe some of you can. Maybe some of you don't use the internet. Maybe you have a friend who does. Maybe you just don't know where to start, and that's your biggest challenge. Some of you may have limited physical mobility. So these 2 activities I was talking with a woman who uses a wheelchair, and was talking to her about this very task. And so she lives in a nursing home, and she can put her mask on and she's able to propel herself. And she can't talk, she can't go to anybody's room, but she thinks, my gosh, I can probably propel myself up and down the hallway, go from the hallway to the activity room. I can probably do that twice a day to help me be more physically active. And she and I developed that together in a conversation. So that's why reaching out to others to help generate ideas can be helpful. It can also be simple things. Maybe somebody is saying, gee, I'm not nearly as eating healthy. I'm not getting good nutrition. Well, start with the fresh produce. For some of you, maybe the arthritis doesn't allow for the preparing of the fresh produce. You can go for the frozen fruits and vegetables and say, I'm going to make myself a healthy smoothie for an afternoon snack, rather than reaching for something that's not as nutritious. So it doesn't have to be big. You can start small. Okay, so like I said, for many of you, just this idea, 2 new activities every day, this is really, really a challenge. And make it fun. Involve friends, involve grandkids, and keep the ideas simple. I just took about 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, I'm going to say 2 minutes searching the web, and look what I found. This is fantastic. I know I'm familiar with AARP. I'm not familiar with Senior Planet, but this is a website that offers free internet live stream chair yoga every morning. It is a program that's dedicated to connecting seniors to electronic technology. So if you use the internet, then you can click on that website and see if that's something you'd be interested in. And lo and behold, AARP website actually has a section of their website that is called Learn and Have Fun for Free at Home. And they have a search mechanism that you can use to find activities within your local community. So I want you all to give that a try. Have fun with that. For some of you who are at home, you live alone, you don't have access to the internet, what I'm going to encourage you to do is to reach out to a family or friend who can come over. You might have some free activities. Many people have cable television. There may be, maybe not activities, no, actually there may be. You may need help with this. Have one of your kids or grandkids come over and go through what's available. You're already paying for your cable television. There might be a chair yoga class on there, or there may be, it's probably not going to be anything live stream, but there might be maybe some games that you can listen to. The other thing that many cable TV services offer is a whole lot of channels on music. And maybe you have found that you haven't been listening to that country music that you grew up absolutely loving, and you may not have realized that there is a country music station on your cable television. So go looking for those types of things, and one of your activities can be just, I'm going to listen to country music for 10 minutes every afternoon. So good luck and have fun with this. Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye. So I'm actually putting this picture on this presentation deliberately. This is actually one of the suggestions to help people who are feeling socially isolated and lonely. And that is to find ways to connect with art, with music, with beautiful paintings, and to do that visually if we're not able to connect to our regular activities. It would be difficult for me to go to this location and to sit by the river and take in the view. But it just so happens I have in my photos diary, or library, I should say, this beautiful photograph. So I want to encourage you all to go back and look at, this might be a good activity for some of you, to go back and look at fun times that you've had, anticipation that we will have fun times again. Where were your favorite vacation spots? And just to take time and just, pull out the best picture you can find. And of course, this is one of the best pictures of color and landscape that I could find. And just prop that up middle of your dining room table or your kitchen table so that you can, hopefully it'll bring you some calm or peace. And that can be an activity, just to look at a soothing picture for 5 minutes a day. Okay, take care. See you next week.